And let me give a quick recap just to ground us. But Joseph Duggar, from 19 Kids and Counting, is now facing felony charges out of Florida involving a minor. This is tied to an alleged incident from 2020. And at the same time, his wife Kendra was also arrested in Arkansas on separate charges involving children. More specifically, endangering the welfare of a minor and false imprisonment. So just to circle back to Kendra's charges from last week, where everybody was on YouTube, commenting like, this happened. First of all, thank you for letting me know. But also, yes, I recorded the episode before that information was released. So here's where we're going. So basically, reports say that Kendra's charges allegedly stemmed from having locks on the outside of her kids' bedroom doors. That when the investigators came to check their home after Joseph was arrested, that's when they noticed these locks. And I'm just going to say this. It's going to be a controversial take, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think it's one thing to have a lock on the outside of the door to lock your child in and to reprimand them, but I do know a lot of people, when they have had toddlers or babies, where they put that little safety lock on the outside of the doorknob outside so that if the toddler learns how to crawl out of their crib and, open the door so they don't fall down the stairs in the middle of the night. It's not meant to keep them entrapped in there. It's just meant as like the safety measure so they can't get out and hurt themselves when they are that young. Her children are obviously older, and I don't think that that's why they had locks. But I just want to, throw all of the information out there and play devil's advocate for a quick second. Not even play devil's advocate. That's the wrong term. But just throw out more possibilities, although I don't think that's why, of why there could have been an outside door lock. So anyway, right out of the gate, this was already extremely messy because there were 2 different cases, 2 different states, and tons of speculation. However, what's now come out over the past few days is where things start to take a turn. The biggest development being a recorded jail call between Joseph and Kendra. So audio surfaced of this recorded call on March 20th, which was 2 days after Joseph was arrested and just a few hours after Kendra had been arrested and then bailed out of jail. And there's one moment in this call that really stands out. Kendra tells him that she hired an attorney, but then immediately says, "It's not for you. It's only for me." And at first you hear that and think, okay, that's a clear separation. That's her saying, I'm handling my situation on my own. Also, sometimes attorneys don't want to represent spouses. It's advised that you get your own attorney. But when you find out who she hired, that's where things get a little bit more complicated. Because according to reports, Kendra hired an attorney by the name of Travis Story. And the reason that name is particularly raising eyebrows is because of his track record in cases involving the Duggar family, especially when those cases involved children. And if the name sounds familiar to you, it's because he previously represented Josh Duggar, the brother, in his federal child exploitation case, which don't even make me get started on that guy again. I feel like I went off the rails last week, but he's like the dirtiest of dirt. Now, as you probably know, not only did that trial fall absolutely flat on its face, but the defense faced insane criticism and backlash. I mean, obviously this guy was disgusting. I even told you last week, he had one of the worst possible files of CSAM material that exists on his device, which just shows you what kind of sick, twisted shit he was into. So now this creep who represented him, and I get it, everybody's entitled to a defense. Defense attorneys have to make a living some way. But now she's enlisting him to be her attorney. So fast forward to this situation. You have Kendra, who is also facing charges involving minors, choosing an attorney who is already closely associated with defending another Dirty Duggar in a high-profile case involving children. So that's why people are really starting to side-eye this right now. And it also shows that whatever strategy she's building, she's doing it with someone whose past involvement in cases like this already has been very widely talked about. Then, in that same phone call, Kendra tells him that she's staying somewhere private with the kids, but she doesn't tell him where. Which it sounds to me like they're avoiding saying too much because obviously the calls are recorded and they don't want that information getting out. But at the same time, she still is facing charges of 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor and 4 counts of false imprisonment. And I have to say too, going back to what I said before with like the locks on the door, and I forget what company makes it. It's like 3M. It's very mainstream. It's not like you go and get a padlock at Home Depot. It's these like, I don't even know how you call it, like a swivel thing that goes across the doorknob or goes on the circular doorknob, and baby companies sell them.